We're live. Why do I always say that like an American or something? Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. I missed my live last week because it was actually giving birth. Well, we wasn't giving birth. The missus was giving birth to our little baby girl. So she's here. I don't know if you can hear her right now. She's kicking off. She's upstairs kicking off right now. I think she must be getting changed for bed. She is getting changed. So yeah, she's upstairs, and I'm downstairs. What the hell was she doing to her? Madness. She's not really crying much. She's been really good so far, to be honest with you. But yeah, I thought babies liked cars as well, being in cars, but my baby doesn't seem to like being in a car that much. So. Right, guys. So I'm just waiting for a couple of people to get on, but I've written down a few topics and that I want to talk about. And obviously the usual questions and stuff like that. I'm open to all them. So yeah, I'm streaming onto YouTube. I'm onto my Facebook personal page and Rendervate Hub. Because you know what, I'll never share it onto my personal Facebook page, but I want to because it's basically my personal. It ain't really personal. It's just I use that to share a lot of work stuff anyway and do a lot of stuff on there as it is. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not really personal, as in like I don't want anyone to see what I'm doing on there. You know, Mike Neeson, thanks mate. Cheers, I appreciate that. Little baby girl, man. So I'm a dad now. Yeah, I'm a dad now. Yeah, and I'm buzzing, mate. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely made up. I can't even exaggerate that enough. I'm proper made up, mate. Like I never thought I'd feel that type of love that I feel right now. But yeah, she's definitely changed my outlook on life. And how I approach things and how I do things, even though I always feel like I'm getting better all the time anyway, and changing and improving. I just feel like with initial selfishness that I think a lot of males have, I definitely had it. The initial selfishness that we have, it kind of evaporated and disappeared as soon as I seen her and realised that everything I do now is not for me, is it? Like, as in, obviously, I still got to enjoy my life and stuff like that and have a good time. We all have. So my missus and that. But what I mean is, it's like, whatever you do, it impacts them, doesn't it? So, knowing that responsibility is on your shoulders is massive. And I'm up for it. So, no problemo. I'm ready to rock and roll with that, man. So, yeah, big feeling. All the people who messaged me and have said, okay, buzzing for you, and they've shared their congratulations and that. Thanks, guys. I'm buzzing with that, man. I totally appreciate it. But yeah, James, hi mate. I hope you're well. Hi mate, you missing work yet? Not really, no. Not really. I actually sprayed an extension, and then I sprayed that. Over there, I sprayed it quickly. But yeah, I'm not missing it, mate. I'm going back tomorrow for a bit. If the weather holds out, I'll be doing it. What's this? Am I losing weight? What, do I look slimmer? Wayne, tell me I look slimmer. I will be buzzing if you're saying I look slimmer, because my belly itself has not, but I actually feel like I am. Yeah, I do actually feel like I am. Easy, Eric. Thanks, mate. How are you doing? You all right, pal? Yes, Jay. Hope you're good, mate. I want to find out a little bit more about your day that you had down at Reddit the other day. See how that went. But yeah, who's asking if I wait saying I'm losing weight? I'll take that, I'll take that. Slimmer and handsome. The handsome part never changes, mate. Always, always. But the slimmer part, I don't feel like I've lost weight, but yeah, I think I look like I have, which is, yeah. One of them. I need to get back to the gym, man. I ain't trained for ages. I ain't trained for ages, and the excuses that I had about, you know, trying to be, what do you call it, trying to show support for the missus bump. I had my bump, and now that's gone. So, and she's losing weight rapid, so she can see her ankles again, her calves again. She's starting to get a little thigh gap again. Cat in background. Hey up, Bella. Yeah, face looks slimmer, so she's dropping it off, man. She'll go back to her normal state in no time. So I've got no excuse now. I need to get to it. So, oof. Yeah, I am gonna. But yeah, man, I hope you're all good. I can see you all have been at it as much as you can, given the weather. What I want to do, guys, today, I'm gonna go through a couple of stuff that a couple of posts that I've seen on the group. I've got one from Wayne Cox. Wayne Cox has I just skimmed through it today, and seeing that Wayne Cox had put something on that he'd been plastering. I want to talk a bit about that, saying that he was sore after it, and yeah, I want to chat about that a bit because I believe it's right. Jamie Fowler put a post on the group today as well about a gable end, tackling a gable end, and there was some good feedback on it, some good comments there, giving him advice and stuff like that. So I just want to talk you through the way I approach gable ends and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that with you. And then I want to talk a little bit about the new spacers that are coming out from Intelligent. What do I call it? I nearly said Intelligent Coatings. Intelligent Render Products from Jay. So I want to talk about the spacers that he's got out now and show you and tell you guys basically, you know, how they're going to work. So I think he's going to be a big hit. So yeah, evening guys, everyone who's jumping on, evening to you. Let me have a look on here. Flipping heck, what are you doing? Calm it down. Paul Harris, how you doing, mucker? I hope you're good, my pal. Hope you are good. Glad to see you jumping on, joining the support, man. Good man. Top man. Where's my normal Facebook? Yeah, so I've got Paul Harris is there. Oh man. What have you all been up to then? Has anyone been doing any interesting jobs, anything different, anything cool, anything hard? How's it going? Tell me what you've been doing, what you've been on with, what work you've been doing. Type it in. I want to actually know what you've been up to. Is it still busy? Are you all still busy? Are you still getting lots of good job opportunities through? Are you getting a lot of inquiries? Hey? Tell us, guys. Try to think if I'm on. Is it on my Facebook page? Yes, it should be on my Facebook page too. I can't see. I'm not scrolling through it all, but anyway, I'll leave it on. So, right, let me get into it. Paul Harris, you've been training today. How many people did you get in? What did you train and what were you teaching people? Was that in Bradford as well? Looking at the rain until night, then off to Egypt for 3 weeks. Yes, Wayne, that is not bad at all. Yeah, it's meant to rain, innit? It's meant to rain. You know, I know you're saying that, but I think it is meant to literally rain for that long. Back in the next week. So, but I'm all right. I've only got a couple of little bits that I need to finish off on a couple of jobs, so I'm happy days, man. I'm buzzing with that. Kai Michael, let's have a look at your mucker. Hi, pal. Hope you're good and congratulations. Thanks, mate. I haven't been on social media for a bit. My last job nearly killed me. Just switched off, needed a bit of time off. Back at it now. Well, so stressful, this job sometimes. Customers, etc. Yeah, man. Listen, that there is real talk, my pal. That's from that there. You can see it underneath there. That's the comment that's come up. And yeah, no, do you know what, mate? You're right. It is hard, man. And sometimes you do need to take a break from social media. Your last job nearly killed you. You switch off and a bit of time off. That's the thing, man. It's hard. I think sometimes the customers and that, it's one of them that don't understand that when we're doing rendering only, that it's, you know, it is weather dependent and sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. And again, it's one of them, you can say it's down to lads letting you down and stuff like that. But a lot of the time, I think when you got to understand with us renderers and stuff like that, it's and plasterers and any trade in general, really, it's a lot of it is reliable on you're relying on a lot of fucking hell, man, I'm losing my words today. What's it called? Like a lot of you can get let down by a lot of things, you know what I mean? So whether it's a delivery not coming in on time, not like that happens a lot. A labourer letting you down, another renderer letting you down, some happening on an old job that, maybe something's happened, like you might just get a leaky gutter on another job that you need to go sort out. So there's loads of things, but I mean, a lot of customers don't really see that. It's just one of them things. I guess when you're selling a product to someone, they're not really asked about all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? Family members getting ill, people having babies, stuff like that. People aren't really asked, mate. They just want the job doing. And that's fair enough. It's fair enough. But I think from our side, it's one of them where you think, should I have a few people on so that I don't need to be in the business and doing stuff like that? And again, there's an argument for that. So, but yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's hard. It is hard, mate. It's an hard going, and sometimes it is best to stop some time off. So for me, I've got these last couple of bits I need to do on this job, a little garage and that, and then I am literally going to have a week off, and then I go into another job. So that's how it's going. But right, guys, I'm gonna talk to you now about what's this here skimming today, mate. Got 2 running jobs on all them, 2 better. Whatever. James, man, it's killing it. It'll just knock us back as well, doesn't it? Like I say, at least you've got somewhere where you can keep earning your money, mate, and you're inside, so you're doing all right. So, that's good. Yes, Wayne Cox, hope you're good, brother. I'm going to talk about your stiffness in a minute. Whoa, that sounded a bit weird. No, pause a bit on that. But yeah, Wayne posted today a post on the group, and he's been plastering today. And he said, Bayek, I can't believe, he didn't say Bayek because he's not from Yorkshire, but this is how it sounded in Yorkshire language, right? Bayek did some plastering today, some skimming today, and I'm stiff. He's still at work now. He's still at work now. See, that's too much for me, mate. Done. Nah, it's not happening. No way. It's I find, right, when you're doing rendering and plastering, so say like I've been plastering non-stop. I've been doing it for a few months or whatever like that. I'm on plastering jobs, like that's how it works. My body adapts to it. It gets used to it. It knows the different movements. It knows it's going to be going like that. My left arm knows it's going to be locked, holding a handboard, and it's going to be just going like that constantly. My back knows we're going to be bending down 50 times in a day, more than that, 100 times in a day to scoop out a bucket. So, that's how it is. Your body gets adapted to the movements. It's all different, innit? Do you know what I mean? Troweling up and that, plastics, floating, all of that. It's a whole different movement. So using different muscles and that. So I find when I've been plastering for a while, right, I'm all right. My body's totally fine. In the morning I get up and I might be a little bit stiff because I'm grafted, but I'm all right. You know what I mean? Usually get some blood going, you sound. But I think when you switch over to the other part of the trade, so let's just say we go from plastering to rendering, I realize that my grip starts to hurt because I'm holding a serrated edge, or I'm holding a rule, or I'm holding a scratcher or a sponge differently, and I'm moving in a different way. So my muscles for that type of job start changing, start hurting as well. So like my grip is really poor. My grip will start to hurt. If I'm off rendering for a bit, my grip kills. I've got really shit grip. And it starts to go, my hand starts to go. So I end up massaging my hands every night, using my massage gun on my hands and stuff like that, and bending my fingers, and as Becky Shaw doing my forearms, because I feel like it really attacks your grip. You know what I mean? That's what rendering does. But yeah, it's mad how different parts of the trade trigger different parts of your body. So when Wayne Cox said that, I totally understand where it's coming from, because if I went and skimmed now, I'd be out of breath. My shoulder would be killing. I've never had no elbow pain really, but my left arm will just have some serious pain here because it locks, doesn't it? You have to constantly hold it especially got loads of gear on it. So that's like, for me, I know I'd be pagged, mate, if I went to go skimming now. I just don't want to do it again. I can't do it. I'd be red hot. I'd be inside. I'd be sweating, mate. It'd just be a mess. And I'm not interested in it. So that's why I stick outside. Even if it's cold, I don't care. I like being outside. I can take a top off or I can put a top on. So, you know what I mean? I like my layers. But yeah, I know what you mean, mate. You got to earn the money though, aren't you? So you've got to go do your thing. But yeah, and when you should not be at work still now, you madman. You madman. But anyway, we'll all give you some moral support and a lift. Get that gauge smashed out and get you sent home and chill out with your last man. Don't want to be sat there waiting for plaster to dry at this time. Forget that. But yeah, I just wanted to hit on that, mate. When I seen it, I thought, yeah, I totally get you. Plastering's one of them. Once you run, you can't stop. You know, you can't stop when you got that skimming on. You have to go. You have to get that shit finished. So yeah, it's hard. I just feel like it's, you know, there's no spraying it on or all that. So you literally are handballing it on and you're going over it, and it's just, oh mate, it's a graft, man. Take me out off to all those plasterers, mate. I salute you all, mate. I salute you all. Everyone who's a plasterer and you've been doing it a long time or render a long time, mate. Take me out off to you and respect you big time, because this is one of the hardest jobs, if not the hardest job in the trades. So good on you. Oh, your feet were killing you on stilts. Oh, mate, you've been on stilts as well. Listen, that's a whole different pain. That's like the way you have to sit. So anyone who doesn't use stilts, right, the way you have to use them, the way you need to sit on them, you can't just stand upright like normally. You kind of have to have like a little dip in your legs. So you kind of sat like that into it, because if you stand straight, you'll just fucking fall. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't do it. You have to like kind of like kink your legs a bit. So you've constantly got, you know, you're constantly in balance. If you stood up straight, you just go, I don't know, which way would you go if you stood up? You'd probably go backwards, I think it'd be. But yeah, you need to keep a little kink in your legs. So holding that position all day is graft, man. That is graft. When I used to do stilts, oh, man, I knew it ended there. But they are great things for ceilings, you know what I mean? If you can get them and you can use them, you'll be good. Yeah, hard years I've been doing. That's why I'm hard, the years I've been doing. Oh, Stuart, evening, mate. I was a little one doing Stuart. Mate, she, you know what, she's doing great, and I've got loads of photos with. It's funny. Sarah goes, "Oh, Joe, that's cute," and that. I say, "Oh, she's there with Uncle Still's blanket," because Stuart sent us a gift, and Stuart and his wife Valentina sent us a gift for Youngin, and it's a beautiful cotton, soft as old blanket, and yeah, she just thought that's the one she loves. So she's always had that one on. She loves it. So yeah, I appreciate you that. Thanks, mate. I've got loads of photos. I'll send you some more down. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, Stuart, man. She loves it. I'm like, look at him, Uncle Stu's blanket and that. It's mad. It's mad, man. Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being a dad. It's a weird feeling, man. Like, I'm not really one for. I am an emotional person. Like, don't get me wrong. I am pretty heart on my sleeve type of guy. But you know, when you look at something and you're thinking, God, that is like my life. Like now, that is my life, man. Like that is it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll talk to Kirk over there, and I was having a chat with Kirk and that, and he was saying, like, honestly, you do things for your best mates and for your family and, you know, your missus and stuff like that. You do anything to help anyone, you know. But when you see that there, like your baby, like nothing would ever come in between that. And like, yeah, it's true. That feeling, because he said you get that feeling, mate, you'll know. And as soon as I got it, I thought, yeah, Kirk, I remember Kirk saying that. So yeah, it was it's weird. It's good. She's gone upstairs to bed now. So I can't bring her down. You heard her crying a minute ago. But she's upstairs now with Sarah. I think she might be getting on the old nipple and the old suckle, having a bit of that before she goes to sleep. But yeah, it's I'll show you next time. I'll get her down and get her on live next week. I'll make sure she stays up a bit longer so she can say hello to everybody. But yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah, man, Stuart, man, honestly, cheers for that, mate. I appreciate it big time. Mrs. is buzzing. Really appreciate it. Thanks, man. And I think she is a year young. No, she was born a day before your daughter. I'm sure it is. She was born on the 24th on the Monday. So I think your young'uns was the 25th of Tuesday, if I'm right. If I remember right from seeing. But yeah, she's I think the give or take, unless yours was the Monday as well. I'm not sure. Can't remember. I've seen it pop up. But yeah, man. Everything's good. Everything's good. New man. New man. Right, guys, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on to talking about Jamie Fowler's Gable End. And he put it on for some advice. And Wayne and everybody gave him some great advice. And it was awesome. And yeah, it was all of it sound right advice, bang on. I'm just going to give you a couple of tips and hints that I've used on Gable Ends and stuff like that. I'll tell you about how when I've done Gable Ends before, where I've done them on my own. Do you know what I mean? And big ones as well, similar to the one you've done. I've done on my own in a way, and also I'll tell you how I work it with a little team as well, you know, when it comes to the base coating and stuff. So I've got this picture. I'm not right clued up with this software yet. I need to probably talk to Stuart and have some training, man, because this is I'm trying to get it on now. How to what you call it? Share the picture in the back, virtual background. So that should be on now. Right, cool. It's on, buzzing. So you can see it. This is it. I'm going to move out of the way so you can all see it quickly. But you see this? This is the Gable End, yeah? That we're talking about, this one. And he was asking a question. Basically, he asked, like, how would you do it? How would you break it up? If you was going to break it up, should he box in the gas pipe or should he go over the gas pipe? Stuff like that he was asking. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I approach stuff like this Gable End. I'll tell you how I would do it. Looks to me like it's probably about 60 meters. What's that? It looks like it's probably 5 across. No, probably, what is it? No, it looks longer than 5 across. It looks about 8 across, maybe. Yeah, maybe 8 across front to back. Height 6-7 meters to peak. Yeah, I'd say you're coming in at around 50 to 60 meters. That's what it would come up to roughly. So it's quite a decent size. And whoever did it in the past, you can see that they've actually put a bell cast bead. As you can see, this side there, there's broke it with a bell cast going across the middle of the house. So that'll make it nice and easy for you. So for me, I would feel comfortable doing that in 2 halves on my own. Obviously, I'd be using my Optimix to do that. By hand, if I had a labourer mixing on me, yeah, but it's just going to be a bit of a ball ache. But yeah, it's pretty much an easy Gable End to do. It's nice, straightforward, for a lot of reasons as well. Not just because of you know, it's just flat and there's no windows in it or anything like that. You've got a gas pipe, that's it. You've got no windows, you've got no windowsills. Yeah, there's nothing on there. I think obviously you've got the gas pipe going down there. I'm not sure if there's a box there though. Is there a box? No, it looks like it goes into the house, so that's good. There's no downpipes on it, no drainage on it, no guttering on it, nothing. So it's nice, no air vents. There's nothing on that wall. It's just a plain, simple wall. It's nice. I think there's a wire towards the back of the house. If you look there, that looks like a wire that you could just probably bury. So for me, man, I'd look to take it off when we're going to go from it being hacked off back to brick, yeah? So for me, I would, if I had a labourer, I'm going to put it on a labourer. I'm going to say you've got a labourer. I would approach it, the best way to get the best finish would be a nice clean gable, wouldn't it? One full wall. So this is how I do a full wall with no breaks in it or anything like that. This is how I would do it. I would start base coating it and I try to build it out. I put a key on it, right? So I put a nice scratch coat on it first. Say we're going to do 15 mil, 10 to 15 mil, because it might be all over the shop. So I'm going to do a 5 mil pass on it, right? And then I'm going to put a key. So I'm going to get a 5 mil pass over all of it. So it's all got a nice, you know, well adhered scratch coat onto the brick that's there. It's all on, pressed on. I know it's bang on. I know it's nice, and I'm going to put a key in it. That just means I've got something nice to work to going forward. I'm not worried about it, you know, pulling in on me or anything like that, because it's just a scratch coat, and I want that on so that it sticks. You know, my next layer is going to go on, and you can judge the next layer more when you know what how the substrate is going to react. So if you've put a scratch coat on, I find when I've done that, I can kind of gauge what my next coat's going to be like Don't get me wrong, if it is high suction, it'll still suck like a bitch. But the reality is you can put S10 on, or you can put your water on and stuff like that just to slow down the suction. You can even put some retarder in the render if you wanted to as well. So that's another option. So, but for me, I put a scratch over it all, total scratch coat everywhere, get it nice behind the beads, make sure the beads are all nice and tacked on with it, and it's all beautiful, solid. And that's a full layer all the way down, right? Now, the next part is going to be hard, but you've got to understand if you're fin coating, it's different. You don't have to worry about it if it's fin coat. You don't have to worry about it the way I'm telling you to do it anyway. You'll be all right. All I do then is I try to build out the next layer, right, to the depth that's desired. So whether that's 10 or 15. So I will try and build it out now. I use a machine, guys. So for me, it's easier to get 10 mil thickness. I'll be honest with you. It's easier for me to get a 10 mil thickness. If you're applying it, it's going to be hard work, but I guess you've signed up for that when you've took the job on. So yeah, hard work, mate, but you're going to try build it out as thick as you can and get it right out to the level that you want. Take your time. Ruling it, serrating it, ruling it as you go, getting it nice, getting your comb through it, making sure it's nicely serrated, spat, everything like that, getting it looking lovely, make sure it's nice, and just work your way down in stages, right? And as you go, mesh it. Next level, same again, build it out, get it where you want it, rule it, serrated, spat it, everything like that, get your mesh on again, overlapping it every time by 100 mil, and just make sure you're doing that, work your way down, and let's just say the first day, you don't get to the bottom of the second pass. You don't get to the bottom. So what? Don't matter. It's fin coat. What you do then is next day come back and start again, and you'll just keep building it and to the desired depth again, overlapping it, and that's how you do it, right? And I would leave it so you can still see the mesh. You can still see the name of the mesh. So let's just say it's EcoRend. You can still see the EcoRend name, but it's flat. That's how we want it. We want it all to be flat. No matter if you see the mesh or in some parts you can see your base coat. But the reality is, right, that there for you is just showing you that it's level. You know, if you can't see the mesh in places, it means that you realize that and you've ruled it, so it's bang on. So get it all like that, guys. Get it all nice all the way down. It don't matter if you do it in 2 days. One day you do top half, next day you do the bottom half. It don't matter. Just work your way down like that. Once you've done that, right, we've got the key coat, which is solid. We've got the second pass, which is dubbed out, and it's nice and it's as flat as you can get it, really. Nice, no problem. You've got your mesh on, which is more or less to the surface already. So you're laughing, happy days. So the process now for me, and I do this all the time, even when I'm working by myself, is obviously I've used the Optimix and I put a slurry coat in it. I put wet render in it, really wet render. So what I'll do is I'll just spray a mist onto a wall, and then I'll get my trowel or I'll get my spat, and I'll just basically coat the full area of where I've sprayed. So it's wet. It's like a slurry coat, and it's a bit further back from the wall, and I'm just coating a mist on the wall. And then from there, I push it on and get it where I want it, spat it all, and that's it. So what I often find is I can usually do a lift, and then I can do a lift below before I need to drop back up top. And what you do then is you get your water bottle, spray a bit of water on, diamond float, big, usually powered one if you want, or your handheld one, and just rub it up. Now, you've got to understand this final layer that I'm telling you to do over the skim coat is going to be hard. I mean, 50, 60 meters, it's an hard gig, you know what I mean? It's an hard job to do. But the reality is this is the way you can do it on your own. And this is the way to get a consistent finish over the top of a gable end. So I've just recently done one like this by myself. Everything was by myself. I just did it all, and it was just like, it took me all day. It took me literally all day. But it looked mint and it was done. So instead of trying to, put your scratch coat on, then put a layer of base on, mesh, and finish it in the day on a big gable like that, just remember you can break it up and skim coat at the end. That's what it's called, a skim coat. So all you're doing, you're diamonding it up because that gets it flat as anything. Go below, that'll be all right. Yeah, diamond down a bit more. So you'll always have a bit that's finished. So you'll have a bit that's finished above you. Then you'll have a bit that's still wet, and you'll be going into the old existing layer above. That's it. So constantly you're keeping it nice going down. And that is the way that I finish gable ends by myself, or with a labourer who can't use a trowel. That's how I do it. You know what I mean? So it keeps it wet. So just a little tip for you there. Don't be worried about, building it up and taking your time. Make sure you get it flat, because that's the hardest part. Skimming it's the easiest part, but it's hard work on your body. But mentally and skill wise, it's pretty piss. You know what I mean? Once you put a coat on and you're floating it, you sound. Wayne Fincoat, I would put one coat all over. Gives me time on my second pass. Yeah, that's it. If you're doing 2 passes on it in day, like say if you've got a team with you, you're laughing, aren't you? But if you're on your own, or a labourer who's not really up much cop, that's the way I do it, and it works a treat. Like I say, I've done countless jobs like that. Did a gear blend the other day, which everyone's seen, and we're like, "What? You did that on your own?" I was like, "Yeah," and that's the technique I did to do it. Another one, if for any reason that bell cast is there, I don't know, maybe you got a step in a brick or like that, just keep it in. Just keep it in. If customer don't say anything and you want to make your life a little bit easier, mate, just keep it in. Keep the bell cast in. It's not a problem at all. I mean, it don't look bad. You know what I mean? As long as it's level, it looks cushy, doesn't it? And sometimes it look like a nice little feature, to be fair, especially when they're sprayed up as well, because you can get underneath it properly and that. So they can look well. But again, that's going to be nice and easy. If that was split in half for me, I'd be buzzing. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, that's cushy. It's basically 2 walls in it. Then that's absolutely mint. So. But yeah, I just thought I'd share my advice on that and what I would do with it. Again, if there was like Wayne's got 3 of them there, for me, if I had 3 of us and a machine guy and a good renderer, I'd still probably want to scratch coat it all, get it all nice, but I'd build it right out a bit further. So if I were doing 15 mil, I'd probably go to probably 8 or 9. And then the next day I'd do another coat, sprayed, ruled, and I'd mesh and finish that day if there were 3 of us who were good. But if it's just me and a labourer or just me by myself, I always go for the skim coat finish, because at least I know I've got the level flat bang on underneath. Last thing you want to do is try and dub out a layer, right? Rule it, mesh it, and finish it in the same day when you haven't got it flat. And you look at it next day and you're like, fucking hell, it looks rough as all that. You should have just, take your time. I think when you've got a good lad with you and a good team with you, you're laughing, you know what I mean? You can do it. But yeah, James Thomas, have you ever iBar base coat and then floated it? Seen a few guys talk about this previously. James, yeah, you can do that. For me, I tried this system. So Balmic do a base coat KZP 65 or 55, one or the other. There's 2 different ones. And that is to be put on, it has to be put on thick, a certain thickness, because that's where it gets its strength and it binds together. But you are meant to iBar it back, and it's better to iBar it back, and then you can do whatever. But for me, it just didn't really work with what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to be iBarring base coat, I'd rather just do a monocool's job for you. Do you know what I mean? It's just an extra bit of work for now. So I might as well just do fucking mono if you want me to iBar. If I'm going to have to iBar it back. That's just in my opinion. I don't iBar back my base coat now. Not at all. Don't get me wrong, if I've base coated and meshed and left the mesh at the top, sometimes I'll run the spat over the top, taking the eye bits off. But yeah, I don't really mess about with iBarring base coats and that. Like I say, yeah, I want to get my mesh right to the surface, more or less to the surface. So if I'm iBarring back, I'm definitely going to go through. So yeah, it's not for me, mate. No, it's not for me. Remember, the strength in Fincoat systems when the mesh is at the top, when it's in the top 30%, I think it is. So, but yeah, mono is shit. I think mono's got his place though, mate. You know what it is, Wayne? Yeah, I think mono has got his place. I think mono's great for little extensions and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, little porches, little outbuildings. I think it's all right for them because you're in and out, aren't you? You can get in, box off a little, a little wall, and you're off, aren't you? So I think they're all right for stuff like that. Good for people who don't want to, spend too much money on it as well. Because for me, mono is, I think the MR1 that EcoRend do is a great product. It's a good system and that. But obviously, I think when it comes down to budgets and stuff like that, it's a lot more expensive, I think. And that's just a fact, you know what I mean? It is. But it's a lot better. But yeah, everyone does mono. It's one coat render in it, man. It comes in a color and it looks good. Everyone can do it. It's pretty easy to do. It's pretty easy to fuck up too, but it's easy to do in a way. But yeah, I think it's all right, man. But for me, I'm always Fincoat. That's it. What's that there? Mono only shit if it's installed. Mono only shit if it's not installed properly. Need to consider architectural design, overhangs, location. Wayne Haggart is up there. AC. Here we go. Here we go. Who's ready for this now? Jay Crawford and Wayne Haggart are going to be giving each other some stick now. Bit of handbags, because Jay is actually probably one of the best mono guys about. So he's up there, man. He's up there. So yeah, he knows his shit. He does some good jobs on it. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot to consider there, isn't there? It's got to be installed properly. It can go wrong really easily. You need to consider architectural design, overhangs, and location. But yeah, I think all renders is overhang, but more so mono stains easier than thin coat. It stains easier. That's just a fact, because it does hold a bit of moisture, a bit of water. It tends to breed a little bit of algae and stuff like that. So it does hold a bit more water. Being honest with monocouche, but I think it looks nice though. I think it looks nice. The one thing I hate about mono when I see it on jobs is where like someone's done a grey house and they've used white beads. It's like, dude, that looks so tacky and shit. Do you know you can actually get beads in most colours now? So if you're doing a grey house, buy the grey beads. Buy the grey beads, please. Don't do white beads with grey mono. Shocking. But yeah, it's one of them. I think mono's nice. I think it can look good. You know what I mean? I think it can look good. But my preference is thin coat, because boy, spraying thin coat is the one. It is the one. And actually, let me talk to you quickly about this. Look at me try to get digi with all backgrounds and stuff like that. But listen to this then. So this here is a sprayed background. Oh, you see it? You see it? You see it? So that there is me spraying EcoRend SF thin coat. God, what is it? Silicone, resin-based, acrylate finish. Boy, I got all the words in there. But basically, that's a thin coat finish from EcoRend that I sprayed onto a little extension. And oh man, honestly, I was in such a rush, so I couldn't really do much, but filming and stuff. But reality is, man, it's like hand applying and then this top coat compared to spraying is so different. Like you could spray, oh man, you could just spray meters and meters and meters, man, and just keep going. It's just so quick. And this gear, right? I put a post on LinkedIn today about it because it's the first time I've used the SF thin coat from EcoRend. The first time I've used it. I got some tubs to trial it really, and basically, as soon as I started spraying it, right, I looked and I thought, hey, that's covering good. That's covering really good. That, and usually, you know, you can go back over it in places if you think you're a bit thin and stuff like that. And sometimes you do. I find you do with full silicone systems and stuff like that. I think you do. It's just one of them things. But this just feels really light and soft and fluffy. How it come out of the gun and fire on the wall. That's exactly how it looked. That's exactly how it felt. It felt light and fluffy. Now, if anyone sprays render or applies render, thin coat render, yeah, Dave, mate. Honestly, you know, I think when you think about it, it's like if you're spraying render top coats, if you ever have done it before, and I guess when you're spraying something, when you feel it come out of the gun, how it hits the wall and how it stays and how it forms up and stuff like that. It's all different on different brands you use. So that's Parex, EcoRend, all of them, you know, K-Rend, all of them have got their own characteristics. All I spray is EcoRend, and it was an SR15, and to me that was the best one. That and the Baumit one, Silken Top, them two were my best ones to spray. I think they break up really well into like a fight. It looks fine. So when it's 1.5, mate, it's 1.5. That's exactly what it is. Yes, Carl, I can see you there, mate. I can see you there. I'm gonna bring you on in a minute. I'll lead on after this. You're in background right now. You're not on, but good man. Buzzing. So yeah, he got it sorted out. That's good. So yeah, I got Carl coming on from Predator and Direct Building. He's going to talk about the machines, because I've had some people ask me about how, you know, there's actually one here where someone's actually said today to me about how do you get into spraying. You know, it's an expensive gig. How do you go about financing it? How does the payments work, or how does you know, what are the costs on them? How can you break it down? And there's various ways. But like I've said to you all before, for me, yeah, I'm not that guy. I just, you know, I just work with the machines and you know, give them feedback and, you know, help people who've got machines get going and stuff like that. That's what I do. I don't deal with the financial part. So the gaffer himself has actually today said, I'll come on and I'll say a few bits. So that's good. Do you know what I mean? So that's a good one. He's going to be the first person to come on to one of my lives as well. So that's going to be good. So yeah, but yeah, I'll get back to this top coat quickly. So yeah, when you're spraying top coat, you'll know when it comes out of that gun, right? How, you know, you can notice differences between them all. So when I'm spraying the SF, right, I was thinking, bloody hell, that's hitting that wall good, that it's holding together good. So I sprayed the panel, moved further down, and yeah, I just was like stopped, went and had a look. Sun come out, as you can see, the sun shining down this wall here. You can see it, the sun shining down it there, and you know, it's just the way it's bodied up and held together. Look at it. It's just, that's perfect finish. That is a perfect finish. That's how you want your spray to finish. That's how you want it. You don't want it to be sharp and stipply on corners, looking like Terralina or like that. You want it all to be like it wants to almost be like a skin formed over the render, and that's what it does, and it sticks to the base coat or to your primer coat, whatever it is. That's what it does. So with this, right, I've sprayed the full extension now, so I'm thinking, right, let me see what crack is with this. So I've got gloves on. My gloves are absolutely caked in this in fin coat, because I was rubbing up some reveals as I was doing it as well, so I've got some shit on my gloves. And end of the day come, clean it machine out, and come out a tree, it washed off beautiful. It felt really nice and soft, fluffy, still cleaning out the machine. And I take my gloves off. So when I take my gloves off, right, usually when you're taking your gloves off, you'll start, the render cracks and it comes away from your glove, like, so you'll find like it splits and stuff like that. And it's still flexible, the other renders, but what it is, it only goes so far, and then it starts crumbling a bit and coming off. That's what it does. So anyway, it did that, and I thought, wait there, did this, right? And I thought, you know, peeled it off, and it was just there, like a piece. And to me, that is only a good thing. That means that it's basically binding together, creating a film that's binding together, and it's flexible. Now, no one's house is going to flex like that. If it's flexing like that, we shouldn't be rendering it anyway. Do you know what I mean? But the point is, what I'm trying to say, if we are getting little cracks or little bits of movement or anything like that, this SF is, in my eyes, going to be one of the best top coats to stop that. And that's only a plus. Yeah, like I said, it's resin based, so that's how I understand it. It's a little bit softer as well. So yeah, I was really happy with it. I was surprised how nice it was. I believe the price point on it as well is a little bit better than full silicone systems. Now the thing is as well, with other products and manufacturers, I don't know exactly who. I'm not trying to knock any brands out, but what I'm going to say is, you know, some of the resin based top coats out there, they don't have the technology that's in the SF, so they don't have, like, you know, silicone in there and acrylate. Look at me, like, I know what I'm about with different types of recipes and that, but you know what I mean. It's got stuff in it still, but it has got a resin base to make it a bit softer. So yeah, I just were a little bit, I was a little bit shocked in a good way for it. You know what I mean? So I was happy with it. So yeah, good stuff. And like I say, Dave Vanix uses it, and all he does is top coat, fin coat as well. Brett Chalmers has put his 2 ticks in his green art there. Yeah, top man. But yeah, it's good. I'm happy with it. So yeah, went through my Optimix, an absolute treat. And yeah, didn't skip a beat. I don't know what it is yet, but I don't know what going through my head. But I thought, right, it's only a little extension. I might underplay it. And I don't know what going through my head, because I don't think like that ever. It must have been baby brain or something. And I thought, fuck that, I've got the machine right there. Plugged it in, and I had the machine going within 10 minutes, and I top coated it within 15. So it's like, don't ever think like that again. Even not literally the jobs I'm spraying everything. And just like with the finish as well, if you just look at the finish and that, it was just like second to none. So you can get the SF from Rendit. I think direct to stock in it as well. But the stuff I got it from EcoRend because, like I said, they wanted me to try it out, the new system that they've got. So they wanted me to try out. So they ordered me a couple of buckets of that. So, but yeah, you can get it there. You can get it from direct, and they'll tint it whatever colour you want. But yeah, well, we got Carling back now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring him on, guys, right? And this is for anyone who's watching now who is interested in getting into machines. I'm going to ask Carl some questions. We haven't planned this at all, so he might be a little bit off guard, but I'm not going to ask him all too scary. I'm just going to ask him basically how you guys can get into it, because I understand it is an hard gig to get into. If you are buying a big machine, it is hard, a big cost, you know what I mean, especially with the times we're in and that. But I know that direct do some sort of split, and like I say, he's better to explain it to you because I don't have a clue. So right, I'm going to bring him on now. I'm going to try it anyway. This is the first time I've done it, mate, so let me just see if you pop up. Oh, there you are. Easy.
Hey, Joe.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. What are you doing? Shake guns off there, aren't you? How are you doing? You been all right, mate?
Yeah, sound, mate. How are you? Congratulations, anyway, on your new child.
Oh, buzzing, mate.
Let's get some overtime in now, mate.
Oh God, though. Honestly, I've been looking at what I need to do, but yeah, it's one of them, mate. We've gone through so many nappies already. I'm like,
yeah.
You know, I know the shit a lot.
But just for you.
There for my lass. I was like that. Fucking hell, nipple pads everywhere. Oh, I shouldn't really say that here, should I? You know, sorry, says. But I just feel like that. Honestly, I know they go through, you know, the shit for fun and all the rest of it, and bottles and that. But boy, I was not expecting this, mate. Honestly, you know, it's mad. But she's here.
Twins.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, two times. Yeah, man. She's good though. She's well behaved. She sleeps good at night. And yeah, she's only cried a few times. I'll be honest with you, and that's when she's usually starving. Bit like her dad. So it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, man. I've had a few people, Carl, asking me about the machines, and it's asked me. They've asked me like over months now. A lot of people. And I just go, listen. I know that there's some sort of way that they can help you out, but I don't know what it is. I'll have to ask them. So, you know, what? Wait there. What's this here? Carl looks like a better looking version of you. As Wayne is a wanker, man. He just loves it. He's always on wind up. But yeah. But yeah, so I've had a lot of questions about it, mate. So, yeah, I mean, you've helped a lot of people out getting machines, you guys. I'm not sure how it works, so can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we offer a few options. I mean, the option that we offer ourselves, if you've got an account with Direct Building Products, what I'll try and do is we try and get 30% down. So obviously it's all different depending on what machine you're going to get. So if you put 30% down and then pay the rest over 90 days, that's generally how we go. To be honest with you, if it takes a little bit longer than that, we're quite okay with that. But in general, we try and get the 30% down on any machine and the rest over 90 days. If that's a bit too much, and I know sometimes it can be a bit too much, so we do offer, we've got a company that comes in that does offer finance. They'll do the finance over 5 years. I think it's over 5 years is the longest they'll do it, which obviously will break down the payments less. You know, you will have the interest to pay on that, but
yeah, that's
down to the, you know, it's whether you want the lower payments but pay the interest with them, or you just want to do it over the 90 days and do it with us. It's pretty straightforward like that. I mean, the stuff's always in stock as well. We get stock coming in regular. I've got a stock of sprinters. The lights are due into me anytime. Speedy sprays nearly here, and the Optimixes, I've got one left, and I'm just waiting for the other 10 to come in. So we usually sat on stocks. So usually, if you really want one, we can usually get you one there within a couple of days. A couple of lads training them, as you know yourself. We've got Baz and we've got Dave Anderson. So if you want in training, we can either come to you or you can come to us, whichever you want, whichever's easiest, and we'll do the training wherever you need.
Yeah, that's good. So you are quite flexible and active with training, aren't you? So it's it's a good thing. I don't think many people will do that. It's either you come to us and that's it. Do you know what I mean? So to offer you to go out to site to do it, you know, that's a good plus. You don't have any other machine people really doing that there at all. So
no, you don't. I mean, to be honest with you, when you look at it, you know, if you're spending a few quid on a machine, because you know the start, I mean, the speedy sprays are $1,000, but you know, you're going up to the Optimix at $4.5 grand, you're going up to 7.5 and 8 grand on machine. Yeah. We want to make sure that the people that are getting them are going to be able to use them. You know, at the end of the day, I don't want somebody to get a machine and start saying, "Oh, I can't use this machine, I can't use it." So we want to make sure that they're comfortable with the machines and make sure that when they are using them, they're using them correctly and they're getting the best out of them. That's pretty much what we want to do.
Yeah. So that's it. It all starts from the off as well, doesn't it? So it's like, you know, we've got to, you know, one of the things when I come into work with you guys, I was telling you like the pains and stuff like that in the industry, wasn't I? And a lot of the time it is identifying what machine's right for that person and then explaining, you know, the expectations for it. So a lot of people seem to think when they're getting a machine, right, that that's it now, you're a renderer, you can go do massive mansions and stuff like that. When I always say to the guys, listen, the machine, right, is just it's a tool, it's another team member to help you get the material on the wall quicker, more consistent and efficient. That's what it is. You still have to be able to render. And I think a lot of the time people get gassed by them, wouldn't you say, when they're looking at machines, they think, oh, yeah, I was going to get a machine and that's it. But it's like, I think you should really, when you do get the training, especially with Direct giving you it with the purchase of a machine, listen properly, listen clearly, even record it if you can. Just set a camera up and record it and take it all in, because the guys who are teaching you and telling you how to use it, you know, they know what they're on about and they're telling you to do it for a reason. So I just think it's just one of them, innit? It's a growing industry. And I think what you're looking to do now with the setting up and the support you're doing is going to, you know, push it on a lot further, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, what we tend to do is, what we seems to find that sort of happens with us is, you get somebody up, say, if they come up to us training Direct Building Products, they come up training there. It's a lot to take in, Joel. So, especially with a bigger machine. So, if you're going to go for the Classic, or you're going to go for the Sprinter or the Predator Light, it's a lot to take in if you've never used a machine before. So, you know, you've got your water settings, your back pressure. You've got to make sure that the rotor and stator's right. There's a lot of things to think about. The Optimix is a lot easier to work with. It's pretty straightforward off and on. But even with that, sometimes you can come up to training and then go, you know, we can show you how to spray it. And the guys that show you how to spray it, whether it be Baz or whether it be Dave Anderson, will show you how to spray it. And it'll look really, really easy. You'll walk away and forget everything that they've been told. So we don't mind driving down to site and saying, you know, I've got a job next week and it's at wherever, and we'll arrange it with you and we'll go down and help you on site. Because I know spraying it on a wall is sometimes not the same as spraying it when you're actually at a job. Totally I mean, different. You know yourself, Joel, you came back with your machine because you wanted it to be adapted to how you want to spray it. Yeah. And you were stood there and literally you were stood against the wall, if I remember rightly, spraying it and saying, no, Baz, down a bit, up a bit, down. And they got it exactly how you wanted to spray, set the machine and away you went. So we offer that service as well because people will want it different, won't they?
Yeah, well, that's it. I think that's a big part of it. You know, for me, like when I started using the Optimix, you know, I had a lot of questions about it and stuff like that, and I wasn't just going to, you know, start using it because, you know, it's there and it was in front of me, because I can get a semi over machines, mate. I love my tools and that. It was about putting it through its paces, wasn't it? And I sprayed base coat through it, HP12, X32. I've done different manufacturers of fin coat, and like you say, we set it up to exactly how I want it to work. Do you know what I mean? And if you look at the background that I'm on now, that's done with the Optimix, and that's us banging. Do you know what I mean? That is, you got to get no questions about that. Customer come out, looked at it, and she just was like, "What?" And honestly, the speed that it went on. So she's gone inside to make a brew. She's come out, I've sprayed front extension. You know what I mean? She's like, "Heck, have you done that?" I was just like, little Optimix.
We tend to think that people's, you know, if somebody gets one of these machines within 3 months, the machine's paid for it themselves. Oh, that's without taking away the graft of it. I mean, you know, I'm not a renderer, but you know, my dad was for all of his life, and you know, you see him going up and down ladders and putting gear up on top of ladders on top lift, and then they've got the water to take up, and then the machines. When you're all mixing it down at the bottom and just taking the hose up and spraying it, it's got to take a lot of weight off. A, the workload, and B, the speed. I mean, the speed you spray that, you finish, you're gone, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big thing, spray finish. I know a lot of people swear by hand application and that, yeah, but honestly, guys, it's it's one of them. I try to put wool over no one's eyes. It don't make the system better or any worse, really. So if any customers are watching, I'm not saying this like I'm doing it the easy way. It is easier, but it doesn't hinder the product. It doesn't change anything to do with the product. It just means that I can be more efficient and make sure that the job's more consistent. And I believe when you spray it as well, it's more of a consistent finish if you're doing it right. So from a renderer's point of view, I will look for a thin coat machine. I've gone in, put this one through its paces, and we're like, yeah, love it. The built-in compressor is something else where it's overlooked, man. It's like I haven't really mentioned that too much recently, but tell me another thin coat machine out there that's got a built-in compressor. I don't know one. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was all about saving space. It was all about having enough power, a decent sized hopper, the compressor built in. And then the fact that it can spray base coat on my slurry coats is just a plus. Do you know what I mean? That's a plus to me. So I was happy to keep a bigger machine to do base coats. But as soon as I realised the actual amount of base coat I could get on with this, I thought, I don't need that big machine now. You know what I mean? Let's get it weighed in. So that's exactly what I did. So yeah, it's a good machine, man. It's been very well taken. How many have we sold roughly? Do you reckon?
Loads. I reckon we're up there 70, 80. I would have thought at least. And to be honest with you, Joe, you've pushed that because you saw another avenue for how it should be used. Because to be honest with you, when we first got these in, they were specifically for thin coats, which the spray texture beautiful. But we came in and tested them out with yourself and seen that they can spray base coats as well. And it sort of just dropped that we can see how much work it takes away from the lads. What's unnecessary. And that's pretty much what we were aiming to do, really.
Yeah, that's what it's done. So for a lot of people out there who are watching this renderers and all that, guys, you got to understand a lot of the stuff going forward is going to be EWI systems. So that's a 6 mil pass. So for me, I use a bigger machine that is going to be going too quick and it's going to be building up too quick. So it's like you don't need to have a big massive hopper full of gear to do 6 mil systems. So it's perfect for EWI. You know what I mean? You're usually getting about 4 to 6 meters. What is it? Yeah, it's about 4 to 7 meters. It might be depending on how you're going, what you're going over per bag of base coat. So that's a good coverage. You know what I mean? For a 3 mil layer of base. You know what I mean? So you don't need to have a K4, loaded up with 7 or 8 bags, mate, at a time with its big weight and its big DAF generator just to do an EWI job. You don't want that. You want it nice and light, somewhat small that can fit in like little tight spaces, in between houses, because that's where the EWI jobs are now. A lot of it's going to be in ex-council houses or in council houses, and just how it's configured, it's going to work nice. I see it fitting into that market absolutely perfect. We don't need to change anything to spray the top coat either. So that's why I like it. That's why I wanted it.
Yeah, the rotor and stator, you can just leave the same rotor and stator on. You turn the machine up onto full power when you're spraying the base coat. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Base coats full power, top coats spray it on 0. It's fast enough. Yeah. And it's pretty much, if somebody's a bit scared about using a machine, so they're a bit wary about getting these machines, all the complicated bits, yourself when you had your Coletta K4, didn't you? That can be a bit, they can be a bit temperamental at best, and if you don't if you don't know about the machines, there can be something slightly wrong and it'll just ruin your day. But these are pretty much straightforward, and you sort of can spray the product, mix it, get your consistency right. So you've done all the work first, and it's a really good machine for people just starting out.
Yeah, great start machine. Great start machine, mate. Nothing to go wrong. No water, no water pumps, no flow tubes, nothing like that. You don't have to worry too much about back pressure and all that kind of jazz on it. You're all right. You can change the speed of what it comes out just by twisting a nozzle and a dial. It's so much easier. Anyone who's just getting into for going from hand applying to spraying, I would advise this machine, because also when you do get a bit bigger, so say like now if I said, right, listen, I've got a couple of guys now who's working with me, I want to get something on a bit deeper, a bit quicker, a bit more, faster, let's just say, then I would go to a light or something like that. And that's where I would pull that machine in, because I've got a team for it. you know what I mean? And you have to train them up. They have to know what they're doing with it. But the reality is the Optimix is a great machine to get started, but you don't have to get rid of it. And that's the thing. So when people seem to think I can only have, if I've got an Optimix to start with, right? They think, right, okay, I've got that one boxed off. Now I'm ready to get a team on, so I'm going to get a light. I'll sell the Optimix. You don't sell the Optimix. You keep the Optimix, right, to do your top coat. That's what you do. Now, I know the light, and I know the light and all the other Ritmos and the Sprinters and everything can spray top coat, but none of them will spray it as good as the Optimix.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so all you're going to do is progress, and that's what you want to do with your rendering career. You want to progress and add to it. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be taken away. You want to add to it. So with me, I think with that machine, you're getting the best of both worlds to start, to switch over from hand application and your top coat. But then when you actually do get a bigger team and you do want to go further and you're thinking, I want to box off some big ass jobs now, some big mansions or whatever, and you do go get another machine, you still keep that because you use it for your top coat.
And not only that, Joel, if you were coming into the, if you were underplaying and you were coming in my opinion, if you were coming into the machines and you jumped onto an Optimix and said, I'm going to try an Optimix, because you're starting to spray and you get used to that spray, or if you wanted to swap to a bigger machine, so you wanted to swap to the Sprinter or the Light, it's not as big a jump then, because you're already used to the back pressure, you're already used to switching on, you're already used to the spraying, opening up the air valves, you're already used to doing that. Yeah. And then it's not as a bigger jump then to jump to a Predator Light or Predator Sprinter or even the Classic, which is the same as the G4, but it's not a big jump then. You're sort of taking a tiny jump.
Exactly.
You just change. You know how to do the second bit. It's the first bit that you just got to learn, which I think that's a good thing as well.
That's what I like about it. That's exactly what I like about it. And that's coming from me. I could use a Light and a Sprinter anytime. I could get that machine and get going. But coming from me, guys, honestly, I actually believe that. That's one of the big things about that machine that I like. Like, you know what I mean? It's a gateway into spray rendering. That's what it is. And when I come to see Carl and Chris, when I was looking at it and I explained this to them, they both were looking at me thinking, because I never looked this avenue, did you? You never thought of it.
Never did. No, never saw it, Joe. Honestly, I never saw it. All we saw, ThinCoat, that's it. ThinCoat machine, that were it. Never saw that avenue. You put the nozzle on, we're all stood there looking at you, if you remember. Well, what's going on here?
Yeah. And then, like you say, with what you said were right, man, about the consistency. You can't get it wrong. You've mixed it how you want it to go on. So that's it, mate. You know what I mean? You know exactly how it's going into upper.
Before you put that into the machine, you know the consistency. Oh, that's how I like my consistency. Put it in the machine. It's going to spray on the wall for you. It
takes the back errors. Yeah, it takes the back ache out, the back graph. That's what it does.
And that's what you want to do, don't you?
You want to make your life easier. You want to long it out as long as you can, really, in this game, if you can, and save your body. But Wayne Cox is a massive advocate for this machine. He loves it. He's using that machine for everything, and he's got. I think he's got an M330, which is a three-phase machine, a bigger three-phase machine. But he's just Optimix all the way now. He's like,
I mean, it's a fantastic machine. It's a great machine. Yeah. Until we found that avenue though with the base coats, it didn't sell nowhere near as well as the Light or the Sprinter. But it's proper. It's catching up now because people are seeing that bit. It's a brilliant gateway machine. Brilliant gateway machine.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's good that everyone's seeing base coats, but. Guys, if you just want to line this machine up against the other ThinCoat machines as well, which are out there, if you want to let's just say we're doing it solely for ThinCoat, you want to line it up against them. As far as the pros and cons go for this machine, it's got more pros than the other ones as well. And that's not just me that's saying it. It's got a built-in compressor. Who wants to carry a separate compressor, mate, and then have it plugged in halfway across garden as well with that, you know what I mean? Different transformers everywhere and all that. This machine it don't even go into a 110 box. It goes into a 230 or 240 outlet as well with a fly lead. So it's just all about, to me, it's all about losing stuff that I don't need. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're on site, you might think that you need a 110. You don't always need a 110. But for me, it's like I've lost the 110 box. I've lost the compressor that I don't need to carry about. I've just got one unit. Beauty. To me, that is what I want. I don't want my van to have like all different types of things in there, you know what I mean? Loads of different bits for that machine and that machine, generator for this, generator for that. I just want it to have it just like that. Customers, extension lead, banged in, turned on, and I'm off. And that's no matter what's going through it.
And not only that, Joel, if you're struggling for space in your van as well, the actual compressor does unattach.
Yeah, it does.
it just unattaches. If it's a bit heavy to pick up and put in there, that you can just detach it, put that in separately, and it's easy as that. So it's good for that as well. So it's
it is. So when I put it in back of my truck, I have to take it off because it just catches on the cabin.
Yeah.
But it's a 2 minute. It's not even 2 minutes. It's like seconds. Untwist the things, take them off,
twist them at the side, and that's it. It's done. Fantastic machine,
it fits in lovely. Right now, I've got the Optimix in back of my truck next to my Serato forced mixer, and they both sit side by side. And it's like I'm ready to go there now. That's the full setup. It's ready to go.
Perfect. It looks good. I saw that video before, Joe. That you did. It looked good.
Well, we need to have a chat about that because we've got a good deal with them guys as well. So
works well with the Optimix, does that?
It does, mate. It does. It's good. Like I say, I've got more videos to doing it, some proper YouTube ones where I can show people properly. But it's for me, I'm well impressed with it. It looks good. It's the best forced action mix on the market. What's that polar bear in background or what?
It's Mac. Is you remember him, don't you?
Of course I do. Can't forget him. But yeah, man, it's one of them guys. So from what Carl said there, right, I'm going to tell you what it is. So if you want the Optimix, this is how it will break down for you. I've just done the maths quickly, sat at the desk while we were talking. I've just worked it out. So if you get the Optimix, it's 5,400 including VAT, right? But if you put 30% down, that's 1,620 quid down. Now, Carl said you can split the remaining payments of that, right, off over 90 days. So you've put down 1,600 just over for this machine. Then you've got 90 days to pay the remainder off. I forgot what the remainder was. Let me work it out. 5,400 minus 1,620. So you've got 3,780 to pay off right on this machine. Break that down over 90 days, which is more or less 3 months. So we'll divide it by 3. You're paying £1,260 a month. Now, if you're buying a car, I won't want to pay that every month for 5 years. But when you're getting something that's an investment, and let's be honest, guys, that's probably your profit off of a decent job that you're doing. That's your profit. You know what I mean? So if you're doing one of them a month, you're paying for a machine over 90
There you go. It's a no-brainer.
It's not, and and the thing is, guys, we've talked about that on here live. Like, that's it. I just sent him a link, because he said he wanted to come on. He'll come on and talk about it. And he's come on. Carl's come on. He's jumped on. We aren't planning none of this. It's just straight off the cuff. He's told us what it is. I've done the maths there for you. So, you know, that if that ain't a way to get your foot into the rendering game, that's more than fair. I don't know what is. Do you know what I mean? So, in my eyes, it's a good deal, and it's a good machine, good product, and I think it's good that you're actually doing that, mate, especially on that type of machine. Do you know what I mean? Because no one else is doing it.
We want to help the lads out as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. We want them to carry on buying stuff and buying other stuff off us as well. That's what we're in business for. So, but we want to build up the relationships as well with the customers because, you know, they buy the machines off us. If somebody doesn't know us and they buy a machine off us, they buy the machine off us. They might start buying bees off us. They might start buying window protections, tapes, that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Building up a decent relationship. We've got some good reps at our place, you know, that all look after the customers. And, you know, that's what we want to do. We want to look after the lads.
Yeah, no, you're right, mate. That I think that's what it is. That's what we want to create with Predator brand. That's what we're looking to do. You know what I mean? I've seen it with Day that we did, which done really well. Everyone's doing them now. Everyone's pulling them out the trade days out of their ass now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, they're everywhere now. But that's what we want. We want to create a community, like I say. And I've been talking to Carl about some other stuff that we're going to be doing down at Direct as well. So obviously we renovate and some training as well. So it's looking good. But nah, mate, I'm buzzing. Thanks for coming on. I'm glad you worked it out. You worked it out easier than me, mate. Because when I first got on this, I didn't know what to do. So
I had to get my girlfriend to do it.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
But thanks for having me on, Joe. Yeah,
it's no problem. It's nice to have you on, mate. It's good to see you. And it's good for everyone to see you and actually, you know, listen to what you've had to say about that, because I'll actually do a separate video on this, mate, as well.
No problem, mate.
Put it out there so people are aware that they can do this. Because for me, coming into the game, if I were coming into the game and I had this offer, for me, it's I'd be like, yeah, fucking hell, if I'm going to do it, that's nice.
And if anybody just wants to come down, just to have a look at the machine, just to have no obligation or anything, just give us a call, come down, I'll get one of the lads to show them whichever machine they want, you know, and just show them how to spray it. If they want to, just give us a call. It's not a problem.
Yeah, you've always got one in there, haven't you, at least?
You've always got Baz or somebody in there that'll just show us how the machine runs and how it works. It's easy enough to do.
Yeah, good. Well, that's what we need. That's what we want. That's what the guys want. So you guys asked for it. You asked to know how it would work financially, and you've got it from the main man himself, the gaffer of Direct Building and Predator Machines. So he's told you. There you go. So anyway, I'll let you get off, mate, and enjoy your dinner and go feed that that bear you've got in your yard.
I think he's eating one at kids.
Yeah.
Cheers, Joel. Thanks for letting me on, Joel. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man. Nice one. Mate. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
So yeah, guys, there you go. So Carl on there, he's the gaffer of Direct. I'm glad that he come on there and did that, because, like I say, I get it all the time. People asking me like, "Oh, can you do this? Can you know what's this? What's that?" And you just heard it there from their mouth. So that's what they'll do. I think myself, it's a no-brainer. Do you know what I mean? For someone who can, give you that 30% down, and then them type of terms on payments. Do you know what I mean? Now, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, I'm gonna read a couple of comments here now. All-round great machine. Wayne Cox, James Thomas. Optimix has completely changed my rendering jobs for the better. Legend, mate. I'm glad you're buzzing off it. God, where are they all gone, man? Where's all comments gone? Yeah, it sprays VPI well, mate. It will. That's Phil Gill there. VPI fine with it, and it will do, because that's the VPI top coat's lovely. Again, it's a nice top coat to use. That's a resin based one as well. It's nice. So yeah, it will spray through there fine. But yeah, it's good. It is good. I'm really happy that he come on and talked about that. I think that's a plus, because you don't get no one else really doing it like that. Especially that level there of management. You know what I mean? He's come on and he shared his advice. How he's got to where they are with, getting the machine and stuff. So yeah, I can't. I use it all the time, so I can't speak enough volume for it. But yeah, that was good. So yeah, has anyone got any more questions for me? Because I am cracking on to an hour and 15 now. I've been very happy with how it's gone today. My first one back after Mrs. birthed my baby. But yeah, it's been good. And I'm looking to go catch up and get in bed with them now, to be honest with you. But yeah, really good that. I'm going to actually do a separate video for that that finance package that Direct can do on the Optimix. You can do it on the other ones. I can work that out as well. But again, I think for the other machines, it'll be bigger payments, obviously, because they're quite a bit more expensive than that. But yeah, other than that, man, can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with it. What's that? My light is available if anyone wants to go bigger. So Craig, you're after an Optimix, aren't you? Craig Cook, he's got a good version of Cook as well with an E. But yeah, he wants to get an Optimix. He wants to swap his light for an Optimix. So like I say, if you're working on your own, I believe that the Optimix is the one. But if you've got a team, go there, like Eric. You bang on the head, Eric, mate. You bang on the head. That's what I'm gonna do. Get some sleep because I'm shattered. Has everyone enjoyed it? Has it been all right? Has it been good for you? Who's been some good information there? Talked a little bit about Finco. Talked about some machines. Talked about plastering. How it's no good for you. You all want to be renderers. Shit! I missed off one thing. Jay, the number bead, the main man, he's got a new design come out and it's called the Spacer. Now, I take my hat off to Jay because this guy, he's got an inventor's mind. He's always thinking about solving problems. He solves problems. That's what this guy does. And he sent me a prototype of this and I hadn't had a chance to use it because, funny enough, the job that I was going to do didn't have any downpipes in place. No extension, didn't have any downpipes in place, so I couldn't use it. But basically what to do is when we go to a job, we do an hack off, right? We take the downpipes off or we take away a camera system, whatever. So on my last job that I've done, I took away cameras, I took away downpipes, soil stacks, everything got took away from this house. Even some people want you to put their hanging baskets back in the same place, don't they? But the worst thing is you want to be, you're drilling through after you've rendered your job. And I know sometimes people like to put something in the holes, in the plugs and that, and then just, take them out after and stuff. I don't want nothing to go around, really. So what they do is they set the depth like you do with your beads. So if you're going out to 10 mil, you get a 10 mil spacer. And what you do is you take away the downpipe, right? And then you fix on the spacer in the place, screw it in where it would go, and that's your depth set. That's it. And then literally you do your rendering over whatever you need to do, you eye-bar it back, or you do thin coat, you sponge it up, diamond float, whatever like that, and you'll see them there. And what it means is when you come to the end of your job, all you have to do is just literally screw your fixings back on, and that's it. No drilling, nothing. They're just there. And they're made from plastic. I don't know the scientific part of it, but yeah, they're made out of proper, plastic that Jay's got. Because I asked him his question. He sources everything based on its performance. And I know he's just had some good results back on some other stuff that he's going to be talking about to you. So yeah, it's not a case of that Jay just does literally, thinks of these ideas. He actually thinks about them properly, man, into the science and shit. The guy loves it, and there's nothing more better than that. You know what I mean? I like to see. And it's only going to make our life easier and better. So for me, I'll be using the spacers on my jobs going forward. Anytime I remove a downpipe, a spacer will be going straight back on. That's how it's going to be. Because the last thing I want to do, I hate it going around. It's time as well. How long does it take you to drill at the end of a job? You know what I mean? Getting levels and all that shit. You're like that, are you? Downpipe, spirit level, yeah, that's it. Bracket, it's just long. If you can just literally put them back where they were, there you go. That's it. Job done. So for me, great design. I reckon Jay'll be sharing a lot more stuff on it, but I'm going to be doing a video on it when I actually use it as well. So I'll show you. But anyway, guys, hope that's been a good one for you. I'm off upstairs now because I need to go see my girls. My cats are in here as well. One of them's face planting sofa. Weird cat, man. Oi, you all right? It's weird over, mate. But yeah, I need to get upstairs, have my cuddles and go to sleep, and hopefully get some work done tomorrow if it's not pissing it down. Yes, Jay, I don't want Renders to ever drill a hole again. And he's right, because I don't want to, because on this last job, mate, honestly, I've changed every downpipe on it after I've rendered the house. So you imagine how many holes I've drilled. Yeah. Cameras. There's 4 cameras on the house. I had to drill them. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. For me, it's a no-brainer. Signs, house sign as well, changing a house sign. So yeah, it's one of them. But yeah, man, it's what it is. Jay does know his stuff. He's a gentleman. He is a good guy. I've met him a few times, man. He's a good guy. I look forward to working with him in future, man. He's a good lad, really good lad. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, go on to Intelligent Render Products page, and he'll have it on there. And yeah, the number bead and all that. It's all part of that same company. So go check it out, guys. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to go. I'm going to love yous. I'm going to leave yous. Enough respect to yous. And thanks for watching. And I'll catch up with yous on the next one. It'll be next Wednesday. And I won't be missing any more now. And next week, Harper. That's my little girl's name, Harper. She might be making an appearance. So peace out. Catch you on the next one. It works if I press end broadcast. No problem, Jay, man. I'll catch up with you soon, brother. Bye-bye.